So today we have an exciting thing to do. We're gonna create something together because we are artists, but usually we are doing things in our side. So I thought it would be fun. Oi, that was hard to do something together, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous because he technically just told me, Ellen, get ready and come because we're gonna make something together. So I have creator pressure.
In front of us, we have different materials that looks familiar. It's embroidery materials. We are doing embroidery here. So I thought we could do something for our daughter.
Okay.
So it needs to be beautiful because she deserves something great, you know. We will start with this. Basically, the idea, for example, you will start with something and I will follow, and we don't really know what we will do, so it will be a bit artistic.
Okay, but like, how much am I gonna do and how much are you gonna do? Like, how many threads can I do and how many threads can you do? Is someone deciding the design or not? Now my head is starting, you know.
I don't know this. I just want to do a thing. I put 2 tissue here. So you have the honor of choosing which one you want to do. Okay, that was easy one. Okay, let's choose this one. I thought this hook would be nice because otherwise we will do this video until very late.
Who is the project leader? Like, who has the final say? Let's just get started now because now you gave me this mission, so
yeah.
You know how I was about to say I'm competitive, but I'm doing this with you, so it's more like I get a task.
You know, it has to be collaborative, loving between artist couple, you know, like not competition.
Okay. Whenever you give me a task or like an idea, then my brain just starts going like crazy. So, all right, so I'm just cutting out a piece of fabric now.
Yes. And I was thinking that we shouldn't transfer anything or draw anything. We just start to embroider.
Okay, so it's like a freestyle embroidery thing.
Yeah, freestyle embroidery thing.
And the topic you said is that it needs to be for a daughter, so it's...
Yeah, but not too girly. I want to be...
It should still be cute, no?
Yeah, it has to be cute.
Okay, so something cute. Okay.
Okay, so you have all these colors. You can tell me.
Can I like take any one?
Yeah, you can.
I think I want this one.
Oh, this one is nice.
Okay, so do we do like 1 thread each and then...
Yeah, for example, or one shape, and if you feel like it's enough or you don't have any idea, I can just continue.
Okay, I actually have no idea at the moment. The reason why I chose this color, it's a multicolored thread. I thought it's just wonderful colors, really.
Yeah.
I splitted it in 3.
There is no rules to this piece, okay? It's just like purely freestyle.
I'm gonna get started.
So like this I can do some kiss when you work. I can disturb you. How does it feel to just do like improvisation?
It feels very strange. Like I haven't actually or I do know now what I'm starting with the contours of what I'm imagining.
Yeah.
This is maybe a bit too soft. Which technique am I doing?
You are doing a backstitch right now. But if you want to learn more about embroidery, you have a wonderful library resource called Going Nuts on Charles & Lillian Academy. It's free. You can learn embroidery for free with us. Oi! Okay, that becomes interesting. It looks very soft, but it's a nice base. I might break this base though.
So, can you guess what it is? Like for me, it feels so obvious.
Should it be obvious? No, I really don't know right now. Are you doing a flower or something? Typical, quoi. So I might break that. I will cut. Oh.
So I can't like actually finish the contour first.
No.
Because you didn't outline the rules of that.
Yeah, but there are not so much rules, okay? Like let's do 1 thread each.
Okay.
Are you scared of what I could do, maybe?
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine like what you're gonna do, plus how I can like cover it up later.
Ah, okay. So what I will do, you will cover it up. Okay, I see. This series starts good.
This is actually quite exciting.
Only you can see, huh? Oi, I'm breaking the shapes.
But you are completely breaking it. Oh, okay. You actually have a plan for it.
Not really, actually. So far we are choosing very light stuff, so we'll need to contrast this, huh?
Yeah. Now I'm starting to question my first choice of this.
Yeah, but we can't undo. There is no Control Z.
I don't even know what happens when you press Control Z.
But you can try.
for me now, I'm seeing here, this is the beginning of a wing of a butterfly that sits on this flower. Whew, she's kicking a lot.
She wants to contribute also, and she knows it's a gift for her. It looks pretty good. Oh.
You didn't see that one coming. No, but I think actually this is really fun. This reminds me of when we first met. I was taking a drawing class at university. You told me that, Ellen, you need to do uglier things.
No, it's true. At the beginning, you were trying to do always perfect stuff. Basically, that you have some time to do ugly stuff in order to do good stuff. Like, everything doesn't have to look great. But I don't know why you are saying right now what we are doing is ugly, because it's not finished. Okay? We just started. I think it started to look pretty cool. And you cut my shape like this.
So what my point was really that not just the thing of doing ugly stuff, because we don't know how this will turn out yet, but just the thing of not always being in control, that like it's okay to just experiment and try, and it's also gonna push the creative progress, or the creative process is maybe more accurate, to just see where it goes. I mean, I'm already feeling actually very inspired just to sit and do something together. It's a really fun thing.
Yeah. Okay, so that's my turn?
Yeah, so now guess what it is. Guess what I did.
Oh, it's a butterfly.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. Okay, I'm not so careful on this one.
Feels like you're filling out the other wing.
Yeah, but well, technically I wanted to make an eye.
An eye?
Yeah.
Actually,
it doesn't have to
now
be
you
an eye.
tell me what your idea was, and then I can decide if I want to follow it or not.
Yeah, you can completely decide. Now that I confessed.
Do you need to finish the whole thread, or can you just...
No, I will stop right now.
Okay. Well, I will continue with this color because it's just really nice.
Yeah. So the question is, does it have to be something or not?
I feel also that one point with this is to encourage to step out of the comfort zone and just experiment.
Yeah, I was thinking that for us it would be nice experiment.
Yeah.
And maybe it can inspire you to make something fun with your friends or your partner, and maybe completely different from what you are doing usually. I mean, we are doing buildings and figurative stuff usually.
Yeah, this is like way out of my comfort zone right now. How many turns are you doing?
3 turns.
Okay. It feels like... D'accord. Improvising. French knot is actually one of the first like stitches that you really fell in love with. Wow, you just broke everything right now.
Why is it only me breaking things?
What is this? How's your thinking?
It's a geometric study.
So that you put on top of the flower and butterfly.
Well, who told you it was a flower and a butterfly?
I decided that.
Okay.
I'm really not seeing this geometric thing.
What? But you see, it's a perspective triangle. You see?
I don't really see.
Okay, but you have to imagine. I think what really like broke the thing is what you started with.
I think that what broke the thing is the...
No, the triangle is really like on top of the butterfly. Like it's something like going with it.
Well, just because you said that, I'm gonna continue with my flower.
Yeah, but you should actually, because it looks unfinished.
Yes.
While she was stitching, we decided to team up. So I might follow the flower because it was going nowhere, this thing.
He literally turns off the camera. And then he goes, okay, so where do you see this going? It was actually really funny. It was almost cute. Like, you've been provoking me. And then you turn off the camera and you're like, what's your idea?
No, but I was just thinking, and I was like, okay, if we continue to be competitive, it will go nowhere. So this is the first lesson of this collaborative piece. Team up. Don't be like me.
But how are we now going to work in what you just did here?
Well, we will see. I mean, honestly... Okay, your turn.
Oh. So we're still gonna work with the flower concept and this.
Yeah, and I mean the butterfly here, so we will fill these things maybe. Okay, at this point we are speeding up the video.
A lot.
A lot, because otherwise it would be way too long.
You don't think people would actually want to sit here for 2.5 hours watching us do this?
I'm not sure.
That's the question, if we should do this live later on or not. But no, it's true. We really started to actually get up the speed, not only on the time-lapse front, but we were just in a flow. You do one, I do one, you do one, I do one.
Yeah, and we didn't really know what to say at this moment more. So we were like, let's just work.
We didn't even have music on. I can't believe we were so dedicated, like just, sure, let's do this.
It's actually quite crazy when you start to create at some point, like something click and you just want to continue, and we were really into this piece.
Yeah, it was a bit more staggering, I felt, when we first started out, and I was doing the contours and stuff, but as soon as we got more colors onto it, I feel that you really jumped on my idea.
Yeah, it's really it's always like this with creation. I think at the beginning it's a bit fragile, where you don't really know where you're going and everything.
You think everything looks ugly.
Yeah, mostly if you don't really have an idea of what you want to start with, and that was the goal of this piece. So, but once you start to see, and we decided, okay, that will be a flower. Okay, let's do it, and then we went totally with it.
And then you start doing French knots.
Yeah, but first we had the multi-thread color.
Oh, yeah. Multi-thread colors. But that we started since the beginning, actually. I think that was a really good call that I would recommend others doing this exercise, actually. Use multicolor threads.
Yeah, and we used more contrast one and more colorful one than the light that you started with, just because I think we wanted also to contrast the piece, but it really helped us to realize, okay, that will be the colors that we will have. And it was a nice guideline, a nice kickstart, because we didn't really have an idea of how we wanted to make this flower.
Yeah, and I think actually it's when we started to realize the necessity of contrasting to create something more impressive. That's when our ideas and process really started to align, because I also saw that it got too soft, and you saw that it got too soft, and we needed something that could just make that pop. And the multicolor threads, actually, we used for the petals of the flowers. It's essentially 2 different multicolor threads.
Yeah, but the anchor one, compared to the GMC, I really love them because they are more soft, going from the light to the dark in a more long way. But the anchor one, the transition are more arch. But
which was perfect for this.
Yeah, it was a great practice, because once you arrive in the light, for example, the light pink, you're like, oh, okay, I need to move my stitch. And we had to make a traveling line to somewhere to make it coherent.
Exactly. And I think it's actually these sharp contrasts in the anchor threads that really also brought the flower, now that we did a flower, brought the flower to life, because it looks like we are using 8 threads instead of 2.
Yeah. And after coming, as we had the flower like really building up, and it was the main subject of our piece, the French knot idea came where I wanted to feel more of a piece. If you see, like I was how we will feel this without taking too much time. And sometimes it's by suggestion of colors or maybe a stitch that you can do that. And I thought by doing such a like a constellation of green, because as a flower is in the nature and it's surrounded by greenery.
But you actually suggested yellow first.
Yeah.
And then I said maybe green, and then you said, yeah, actually, but a multicolored green. Yeah,
exactly. And it was a nice imaginative way of making a constellation of green. And of course I think on this one I used DMC multicolor thread.
I think
where the transition is much slower, and like this you can play on different contrasts.
But you also did consciously that you started with a lighter or softer end of it, the spectrum higher up, and the darker more below.
Yeah, I use a lot this multicolor thread, and usually I cut where I want to start, and like this you can really figure out more of the light and play with it in much smoother way.
I have to admit I was a little bit like half skeptical, because I still thought the French knot was cool to also add texture and still add in some sort of abstraction that I know you wanted to do with this whole geometry game that you started in the beginning. But the French knots, at first I thought, oh, you're doing them so close, it's gonna look really crowded. but as you were actually spreading them out, and like you say, you were suggesting what was there when the eye looks at the overall piece. I mean, it could even be a dotted fabric that we embroider on, but then there is this additional texture of both the variated thread as well as the texture of the French knot, the technique. So I think you did really good call on that.
And
one.
my figurative, my geometric figure we decided to stitch on it. It was the best way. Sometimes instead of cutting, we decide to just stitch on it, and the proof is you don't even see it now.
Yeah, but truth is, actually, we did have the discussion if we should just go outside of the rule that we initially did of not cutting. But then we said, no, we just want to show that you don't have to do that. And that is so cool with this process of thread painting where you add layers on layers. It's really like, thread painting. You're painting with thread. You can just add unlimited layers, and thanks to the fact that we were using only 3 strands, it didn't get too crowded and messy on the backside, because I know that when sometimes you use the full thickness, sure, it goes quicker to cover the surface, but if you want to start layer it, like
it becomes so hard, it becomes
so heavy, like so thick, so to push through the needle suddenly becomes a hassle, and then it's not as, I mean, it's the smoothness that makes it a real pleasure. So I think that was another good call.
Yeah, and also by the fact that you stitched the leaf to make some other dimension to the flower, and not just have a flat flower made.
But this was an idea actually of how to cover up the geometric shape, and that became a challenge in itself, because first we said maybe we should do another butterfly, a second butterfly, but then we thought that we actually needed, coming back to the idea of contrast, we needed to add even more contrast, and this is where the dark green came from, and the leaves, to sort of 2 on top and 1 at the bottom to have the balance of the 3 to really just frame the flower.
So that's the whole idea of the piece now. Almost done.
Almost done. Yeah, but it was really amazing.
Yeah, so let's go to the outro now.
Yeah.
Okay, we arrive towards the end. We decided to get rid of a triangle.
I can't believe we've literally been sitting on these chairs for the past 2.5 hours, non-stop. Again, I had no expectation going into this. I think it's looking really cool, and just the creative freedom, so to say, of just, it was one point, I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but you were like, don't think so much, or like when I was starting to do the leaf and I was like, is this nice, maybe it was not great, and then you just said, well, just don't think, let's just make, and we've just been literally stitching, and we haven't undone anything.
Yeah.
And that is why I'm happy that we, in the end, we didn't cut up the triangle, but we just stitched on top of it, because that's really the freedom with embroidery. It's like painting in a way. It's like we're painting with thread.
And if you want to see more of this, you should comment on the video to tell us if we should continue that.
Maybe challenge what you would like us to do.
So here it is.
I think this has been so much fun to do. And it was just so liberating to put the stitches anywhere, and we've been sitting with clothes and all. Like, it's been really fun. This is our first piece together.
And don't forget to subscribe. If you like the video, we would love you to put a little thumbs up, because it helps the algorithm and it helps us to spread a bit the message.
To get more people to create.
Yeah, and follow my wife, Petronella.art on Instagram, and Charles Henry for me on Instagram.